G'day folks, Adam from Tiny Real Estate here. In this video I wanted to give you a tour of the Freedom Tiny House. This is the tiny house that my wife and I live in with our son, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen the progress videos of this tiny house, but you haven't actually seen the finished product, so let's go on and have a look. So starting with the outside here, you can see the cladding we've used looks a little bit different. It's actually pine, but we've charred it using a Japanese technique called shusugiban, which is essentially just where you burn the wood and then you sand it back after. Now we wanted something a little bit different, and that's what we went for. It wasn't easy, it was a lot of hard work, but we're pretty happy with the end result. And then coming around the front here, we've got our utility cupboard. So we've got on the left side here, we've got our water and gas in there. So we've got water filters up the top, and we've got dual 8.5 kilo LPG bottles down the bottom. And then on the right side here, all in here is our solar components, inverter, RCDs, and breakers and all that stuff. Down here in this separate cabinet is actually our batteries for our solar system. We've kept them separate purely because of the weight. Each battery is about 80 kilos, so, and there's 4 of them, so there's 240 kilos, sorry, 320 kilos in that cabinet there, which was just too much really to put on the trailer itself, so it's in a nice cabinet there. Up above the utility cupboard, we've got our gas hot water unit. We've still got to put the power point in for that, but that's up there. And the reason we put it up there was so it would meet regulation. There's certain stipulations as where they can be placed, like as far as how far from a corner of a building or how far from a window. And that, with a tiny house, there's not many options, so we decided to stick it there. It's not the most pretty looking spot, but at least it's around the side of the house where not a lot of activity happens, so it worked for us. And then obviously as a backup, I'll show all this in another video, but we've got a generator under the tarp over there as a backup for our power in case we get low on power. We've got our 2 banks of solar panels over there, 8 panels in total. We did have 4 panels to start with, but we found in winter down here in the southwest of Australia, we're close to Margaret River, so there wasn't a lot of sun, which was causing some issues in winter, so we upgraded to 8 panels in winter. You can see here our steps, they're actually just recycled pallets. I've just cut them up and made them look a little bit more pretty, infilled all the gaps and shard them the same as the cladding. That they are a bit darker. I think the shusugiban actually lightens over time, so obviously the steps are a lot younger than what the actual cladding on the house is, so we've got some catching up to do, but quite an effective way, very affordable way of creating either a nice deck or nice steps up to your tiny house. It's essentially free. So, and then we come inside. We have a sliding door, as you can see. These units here, all the doors and windows are actually units from Bunnings. So Polar is the brand, and they've been fine, but I probably wouldn't use them again. They're all double glazed, so they are very, very efficient, but I probably wouldn't use them again. And the only reason why is, as you can see on the window over the far side there, it's got the cam handles. The opening windows have the cam handles, and I'm not a fan because once you put a fly screen on there, which you typically need in Australia, you can't open the window without taking the fly screen off, which becomes a real pain. So I'd probably go with more of a awning style window next time with a windy cam handle, like a little windy handle. Yeah, just something to improve upon next time. So first of all, we have our Our sitting area, couch. This is all modular boxes here. I'll move the table out of the way. Obviously. So yeah, they're all individual boxes. They have storage inside them, so the lids come off and you can store things inside, which is very handy. You can stack them, turn them on their side if you need to create some more space. And then we have our dining table, which also can be put away. The legs unscrew. It's been shusugi'd as well, the same as the cladding on the outside to match. We have a bookshelf up the top there, which is also shusugi bind out of pine. And we've got some more storage on the wall there, mainly for the baby stuff, but you need as much storage as you can get when you've got a little one. And then we have our kitchen. So it's all custom cabinets, all built in, which can be expensive, but in a tiny house when you need the storage, it can make life a lot easier. As you can see, we've got all pretty standard appliances, a normal sort of toaster, normal oven and cooktop, and a standard household sink. The oven and cooktop are Westinghouse items, and the reason why we chose Westinghouse was because they do offer an LPG conversion kit. Most ovens and cooktops are designed for natural gas, but Westinghouse do offer the LPG conversion. You do need a conversion kit because LPG runs at a different, I think it's a different pressure to natural gas. But if you check with your plumber, a gas fitter, they should be able to tell you what you can and can't do and how to do that. But it's Westinghouse, I know, do the conversion kit, so it's worth having a look. And they're quite affordable too. We've been happy with them so far. And other sort of household appliances are pretty standard. We've got a blender and a coffee grinder there. They all work. All of this stuff works off our off-grid solar system, obviously. Another word on the cooktop and oven though, we did go LPG for both of them because it lessens the load on the solar system. A cooktop and an oven that's electric are actually the most intensive power consumers in a typical household. So for instance, an electric cooktop, like an induction cooktop, we would need to go about double the size inverter in our solar system to run it, which would then increase the cost of our solar system from about 6,000 to potentially 12 or more. So that's one of the reasons why we went LPG. It does significantly reduce the upfront costs of your power system. Another thing also is it's a great backup that if you do, for whatever reason, lose power, if you run out of power or if something breaks, you've always got the opportunity to still boil water and cook some food. So it's a great diversification too. And then we've got a full-size fridge. It's a 332 litre fridge by LG. The reason we went for that one actually is, again, it's one of the most efficient on the market at the present time when we purchased it. It was even more efficient than some of the bar fridges, which are like a third of the size of this fridge. It's actually quite phenomenal. So I think from memory it consumes something around the figure of 700 watts a day, which is pretty good for a fridge that size. And another point to make about fridges is it's extremely quiet. In a tiny house, you don't want any appliances that are going to be noisy because you will definitely hear it and it will start to annoy you over time. So, especially if you're sensitive to noise. So yeah, it's very quiet. It's a great fridge. Then we make our way into the bathroom and start on the right hand side here. We've got our composting toilet, which you can't see that well, but down there, it's a custom made item. It works extremely well. It's essentially just got a 20 litre bucket inside, and then you cover, every time you go, you essentially sprinkle sawdust or peat moss or something similar, which is in the container next to the toilet there on top, which keeps the smell at bay. There's very, very little smell from the toilet. Most of the time there's no smell. There should be no smell if you're putting enough cover material on. And then we empty the buckets into a composting bin, which we have outside, which keeps it all nice and contained and smell free. It's actually been a lot easier than what we initially thought, composting. The washing machine is a standard sort of household item again. It's 240 volt. It's just a Bosch 7 kilo. We went for that one because it is extremely efficient. Also uses a one of the smaller amounts of power out of all the washing machines we looked at. We've got our baby change mat on top there, but you could use that for whatever you wanted to, that sort of space. Overhead storage all the way to the ceiling. That there's obviously the mirror, but it's got storage behind it as well. It's a cupboard. And then we have the hand basin, more storage underneath. And then we have our bath. It's a full-size bath, 15-24mm Kuroma. And we also have a rain shower head over top, which is amazing. It's beautiful to be able to have a really nice shower in the tiny house. And we have a window there, which takes advantage of the view, which is pretty spectacular. So you can have a bath and be looking out at nature. A towel rail there, extraction fan. The bathroom does have a sliding door as well, so you've got the privacy there, especially when guests are over. It's a wonderful view there when you're washing up, looking out into nature. Under the stairs here, this is all built-in storage. There's quite a bit of hanging space in there, and also some pigeonholes for other things like t-shirts and shorts and socks and underwear and that sort of stuff. We also have a ceiling fan up top there, which is great for summer. It's amazing that a small ceiling fan like that creates a breeze, a really big breeze actually, inside the entire tiny house, which keeps the place cool. So a view from the couch. We're pretty lucky really. And then if we head upstairs, we can have a look at the loft. So here we are in the loft. We've got double power points both sides of the bed, just for charging phones and those kinds of things. Also, we've got light switches there. The lights in the loft here are switched separately to the lights downstairs. A wonderful skylight, which is amazing at night. You can lay in bed and look at the stars. It also opens with a windy handle, and it also has, at the moment we've got the sun block out, or the fly screen down, but it actually slides the other way, and then you've got a complete block out. So at night time, if the moon's out, or if you're trying to sleep during the day, you can do a full block out. And then we've got block out blinds on the side windows here as well. Those windows open, they're awning, which creates a wonderful cross breeze, especially in summer, because you would think that it would get really hot up here in summer, but it actually doesn't. It's actually very, very cool. A couple of reasons why. We've gone for a thicker roof space. We used 140mm timbers, and it's insulated nice and thickly. And then, yeah, you open the windows right up, because they open up 90 degrees all the way out, and then you get a cross breeze coming across, and it's really nice. So we're now on the opposite side of the house to where we entered the house. This is the kitchen window here with the sink. And this is our washing line. So we have the washing line on the northern side of the house that gets the most sun. Even with all the trees, we've got massive trees here, that the sun still does come through and it dries the clothes wonderfully. It's actually a great space for a washing line. It folds away as well if you need to, and if we ever move the house, then we'll just unscrew that with the 4 screws and away we go. So that's it for the tour, guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you've got any questions or you've got any comments or you'd like to see something else in a future video, please leave the comments down below and I'll get to them shortly. And if you do like the Freedom Tiny House plans and you want to build a Freedom Tiny House, the plans are available on our website, tinyrealestate.com.au. And until next time, I'll see you then.